Good day to everyone, and I hope you are all in a state of grace. We are now on the 12th Sunday in Ordinary Time. At ang bilis ng panahon. Just remember, next week, papasok na tayo in the month of July. Grabe no? Ang bilis. Since we are in the ordinary time of the liturgical season, the themes of our readings are also minding our daily struggles and blessings. So today, in our Gospel, Jesus told His apostles 3 times. Tatlong beses sinabi ni Jesus sa kanyang mga apostles, do not be afraid. The word afraid is always connected with the word fears. And so, our question for our reflection is, what are usually our fears? There are 10 which I listed here in my reflection. The first is the fear of inadequacy, or a sense of being, I am not good enough. The fear of uncertainty, or that fear of the unknown. The fear of failure, or the fear of disappointment. Number 4, the fear of rejection, which is very common, which is the fear of being disliked. Number 5, the fear of missing out, or the fear that you are left out, especially on the aspect of happiness or fulfillment of your dreams. The fear of change, or that fear of the unknown. The fear of losing control, that is the fear of making poor or wrong decisions. Number 8, the fear of being judged. Yan, very familiar to. Fear of being evaluated negatively by others. Number 9, the fear of something bad might happen. That is paranoia. And lastly, the fear of getting hurt. Ouch! Or the fear of pain. Which is which among them are your fears? It's nice to know. It's nice to know our fears because they said, at least if we are aware, we can will to face and manage it. If you notice something on the enumeration of our different fears, most of these fears are based on 2 things. First, past experience. Diba? Na-trauma tayo kasi may pinagdaanan. Or, overthinking and analyzing too much of the future. Overthinking. No? So, it's bringing out too much worry and anxiety. No? So, if you notice, in short, it is done and it's not yet happening. So, therefore, our fears are paralyzing us to take new initiatives or to take new steps forward and see what we can do. That is the result of fears. Mapaparalisado tayo. The most important thing now, since this is a gospel reflection, is what is Jesus' proposal? How to handle fear, particularly in the context of Christian witnessing. Kasi nga itong gospel, which is Matthew chapter 10, is a continuation of last Sunday's gospel, wherein Jesus sent, after giving them orientation, He was sending them to the communities. And therefore, His message to them is, do not fear, no? In the context of Christian witnessing. So, what was the reply of Jesus? He said, speak in the light. Speak in the light, or do not be afraid. So there are 2 things, 2 ways wherein we can fulfill speaking in the light. Number 1, always speak the truth. Imagine the apostles going to the different communities. They have these different fears. And I think one of the fears they have is how to preach, to bring the good news to people. So Jesus is telling them, just simply speak the truth. But let me add, from the human standpoint, maybe use words that can convince but not hurt. No? And what are words that are hurtful? These are imprudent words and tactless. No? Taklesa yung nagsasalita. So always speak the truth. It's okay to speak your mind, but always be prudent and also tactful. Secondly, acknowledge God before others. Yan. Sinulat ni Jesus yan sa gospel. Sinabi niya pala, acknowledge God before others. What do we mean by acknowledge God before others? It means na alam naman natin na in our life may papasok na mga trials, no? Mga problems sa buhay natin. Pero what is our attitude towards problem and trials? Sinosolo natin. Ha? Sinosolo. That is why, since we know naman that our efforts are also limited, ang daming fears. Ang dami nating kinakatakutan. So the message of Jesus when He said, acknowledge God before others, is this. Allow God to accompany you. For example, what are some of our fears is, we know naman that we are inadequate. Kulang talaga tayo in front of the vast challenges. Kulang tayo. But we also know, out of faith, that God will provide. Isn't it? We know that we are uncertain. But if we obey God, nothing will be wrong. We know that we can fall. No? We can fail rather. But if our efforts are honest, I think that it's okay. We know that we can be judged. Many times we are judged. But as long as you love purely, God will bless you. We know and can feel that something bad might happen to us. But we can also plan. And we can invite God to bless our plan. And lastly, we know that we can be hurt again and again. And this is a common experience. We can be hurt again and again. But remember to also imitate Jesus' way. Forgive and forgive again and again. So my dear friends, huwag nating solohin because life is never about being solo. But allow God and members of the community to accompany us along the way of life. God bless you and remain in the state of grace. Amen.